How's it hoppin' today? It's Chandi, and I am here with a very beautiful shawl pattern to demonstrate. It is light and airy. It is so gorgeous, and it is very easy, but it has a really unusual technique, so I think you're gonna love it. This gorgeous rectangular shawl was designed for you by Jane Vanselous. She's so awesome. And it is floaty and it's light and airy. It reminds me of a cloud on a beautiful summer day, just floating along on the breeze. I love it so much. This shawl is definitely suited to the advanced beginner knitter. If you've made just a couple projects and you feel comfortable with knit stitches and doing a yarn over and some pearls, you will be golden, because this is just a combination of a few very simple stitches. Now, here is the unique aspect of this shawl. You are going to love this. You actually alternate between holding yarn single-stranded, that's the part here that looks just like one color, versus double-stranded, where you pull in another color. So you alternate single-stranded, double-stranded, single-stranded, double-stranded, single-stranded, double-stranded, and you jump needle sizes back and forth. So it creates this really elegant, beautiful look that has these subtle shifting stripes throughout. It's really airy, it's very sophisticated, and it's so easy to create. One of the really cool things about this pattern is you can adjust the width to be whatever you like and the length. Instructions for that are included in the pattern for you, which you will find at the direct link in the description. You can also head to the patterns category at expressionfiberarts.com and get it there. Jane opted for our alpaca silk lace for this pattern. It's got over 600 yards per skein, and it only takes 2 skeins to make this shawl. It is really buttery because it's got alpaca in there, and it has silk, so it just shimmers, and it really is lightweight and airy, so it creates beautiful shawls just like this one. Let's go ahead and jump in, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to work this pattern. You're going to start by holding one strand of each of your colors together and just pretend that those are one strand of yarn. And you're going to start with US size 8 needles and cast on however many stitches you want for your width. I'm just going to start with a little swatch size today just to speed the process up for you. Using a size US 8 needle and holding both of your yarns together, go ahead and cast on your stitches. And I'm just going to do a smaller swatch today, so I'll be casting on just 18 stitches. And I'm just using the long tail cast on method. Rows 1 through 4, you're just going to knit all those stitches. For rows 1 through 4, you're just going to knit every stitch, every row, and let me show you what that looks like holding the yarn double. You're going to continue to hold your yarn double-stranded, and if you've never done this before, it's really simple. You're just going to pretend that it's one strand of yarn. So just make sure you're not splitting your stitches apart or anything. While you're doing this, this is a great technique too to marl your yarns if you ever want to fade one color into the next. I love, love, love this technique, and I use it in so many projects. It's such a great way to use up yarn too that you may have lying around. So just continue knitting all the way across, and you're going to get the hang of this double-stranded knitting in no time. So there's row 1. Rows 5 through 10, you're going to repeat the same row, which I'll show you how to do. For row 5, you're actually going to switch to a US size 6 needle, and we're going to drop one of the colors. Let me show you how that row goes. Now for rows 5 through 10, we're actually going to drop one of our colors and only work with one color. And then we're going to be switching and using a US size 6 needle. So I just have another set of circulars in that size. Then what you're going to do is start with a knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to form a little border. And then what you're going to repeat across is yarn over, purl 2 together, knit 2, 1, 2, and continue repeating that across, yarn over, purl 2 together, knit 2. You'll repeat that across your row until you have 6 stitches left on your needle. When you get to that point, you're going to yarn over, purl 2 together, and then knit those final 4 stitches. And just repeat that row also for rows 6 through 10, using 1 strand of yarn. For rows 6 through 10, you're just going to repeat row 5, pulling the unused yarn up the side as you go. I've worked a few rows, so I thought I would show you a little technique for carrying your unused yarn up the side. This way you don't have to cut it and weave in ends later, you just carry it right along the side. So when you come over to the edge where your unused yarn is, you're just going to bring your working yarn, which for me is the pink yarn, up around the non-working yarn and continue to knit with it. So this way that unused yarn is just being carried up the side. And you can do it every time you come over to this row. I've worked 4 rows, but that's up to you. That way you will avoid a ton of weaving ends in later. Now you're going to jump back to just working knit stitches, so basically repeating rows 1 through 4. And to do that, you're going to pick up your second color, which you've pulled nicely along the side, so it's right there where you need it. Hold those as one together again. Switch to your US size 8 needle, and then you would just start knitting across. So there you have it. You're just going to repeat those 2 sections over and over and over until you get the length of shawl that you like. You can see how simple this pattern is, and yet the end result is so unique and stunning. I really hope this tutorial was helpful and that it encourages you to get out and give this pattern a try. Remember your worth today because you are amazing, don't forget it, and go out and find some time to knit, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye-bye.